welcome back to another video. So I have something a little bit more exciting today. If you watch my vlogs, you may have seen a teaser of this quite a while ago. It's taken me a while to get around to it. But I ordered myself a DIY ukulele. So I know how to play a ukulele ever so slightly, but I thought what would be really fun would be to sand this up, mask it all off, and acrylic pour on top of this, and just see how that turns out, how it looks. I'm hoping to get some really nice cells in there, some really nice colours. I don't know what colours I'm going to do yet, but we will experiment and then put this together and see how it looks. I think it could be quite a fun little experiment. It's always nice to paint on something a little bit different sometimes, and I'm hoping this is going to be that. Just fulfill the need to paint on something a bit different. But I'm really excited. It's just didn't cost me too much. It's just a cheap one. All the pieces are in there. It comes with clamps and stuff. It was really good actually. I'll put a link in the description below for this. It was on Amazon, so I'm not an affiliate or anything, so just you don't have to worry about clicking through my link or anything. But yes, it's very just bog standard, and I'm excited. I'm going to mask off. I was going to mask off the sides. I don't know if I want the acrylic pour to pour down it, but I definitely want to mask off the bottom so that's nice and neat, and obviously inside, so it's going to take a lot of masking. It's a little bit rough as well, so I want to sand it down, make sure it's nice and smooth. I may do a little bit of a gesso primer on this because I don't want it to absorb too much and not work. So I think that's what I'm going to do, and if this works and if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up firstly, but I will definitely order another one and I can do some different painting on it, not necessarily acrylic pouring. I think I just wanted to try out the acrylic pouring first, see how it looks, how it works, whether I can put it together properly and it works in the end, and then we'll just experiment. That's all what this video is about, is experimenting with this, and I'm excited to do this for this video. So stay tuned and we will get cracking and sand this baby down. basically that is the pour done. It's dried overnight, it looks really good. I'm really pleased with some of these cells. So in the end I decided to do a swipe, and I kind of, since we're going to be seeing into this hole, I kind of wanted the black to be swiping over the different colours. If you follow me on Instagram at LucyLocksArt, you will have seen a hexagon pour with these similar colours, and I really enjoyed that, so I kind of used that colour scheme there. There's a few bits where the colours didn't quite swipe over it, but you know, it's natural. That's what I like about acrylic pouring, is that it's all natural. So I will be painting inside of here to make that black there, just this rim, just to blend that into there. I put some pins in just to make sure that these holes were visible there, and this bit here will be covered up, and there will be a chunk of this bit here covered up, which seems a shame, but that's how a ukulele works. So I've not peeled this off yet. I'm a bit worried. There are a few bits where the paint did go underneath, but hopefully, especially here, I'm hoping that I managed to put enough layers of tape on that it's not seeped onto the wood, because there's a little bit of seepage onto the wood here. I'm just going to have to sand it off. It's not going to be too much of an issue, but it's just a little bit of extra sanding that I probably didn't really want to have to do, but then I want to do this right, so I will probably end up doing it. But yeah, we should be able to peel this off with ease, and you'll see that now. There we go, it's pretty good actually. There's just a little bit of seepage here. I wish I'd done a double layer on the sides, so it's just a little bit at the bottom, but that shouldn't take much sanding to get that off. But the edge here, the rim, looks really good. I'm thinking, do I want to either paint the edges in the back another colour, or stain it? I don't know, maybe stain, but I don't know whether these kind of, obviously it's a cheap one, so the rough edges here might not look too good, so maybe I need to fill those in with some wood filler or something, get it looking nice. I don't know, I really don't know, but I will figure that out soon and you will see the next steps. Right, I've just nipped to the shop, so I went to B&Q and I picked up some wood stain. So I was thinking, originally I wanted something a little bit on the orangey side, so maybe a mahogany or something, but then when I looked at them, they were all a bit too orange, and I didn't want it to look stark orange against this nice dark colour, but I thought it needed to be a dark stain. So I got this Ronseal Dark Oak Satin, so it's got a bit of a glossy finish, so it won't need varnishing afterwards. And this is softwood, I believe, so it will look the lighter side of this, which I quite like. So I did a little test on a little ring of I think this is some sort of holly or something branch, and it's quite a nice it's a nice finish. As you can see, it's glossy, it's a nice deep dark finish. It does pick up any kind of, that's obviously the saw marks from sawing the slices, so I'm really hoping that it doesn't pick up too much, and I've sanded this enough to make it not stand out with the stain. So I'm thinking I'm going to stain this and stain obviously the handle, and then once that's done I'm going to varnish this top and then start building it up and making it into a working ukulele. So one thing to note is I did sand off all the paint marks. They came off quite well actually. There's a tiny bit of staining here, but this wood stain will show that, will cover that up rather. So I'm hoping this works. I'm going to do the back first, so if it looks absolutely terrible I can repaint, and we'll discuss from there if it doesn't go very well. But for now I think it should look good, so stay tuned for the progress. I have finished the ukulele. I'm really pleased with it, and here is what it looks like. I'll do some close-up shots after this face cam section, but I'm really pleased with it. I think it's turned out really nice. So in the end, I went for this dark oak wood stain, which I mentioned in the last talking segment, which was really nice. I just did one coat because I didn't want it to be too dark, and that actually has a satin finish, so for the most part it had a bit of a sheen to it, but then I added some interior wood satin varnish on top of that. I didn't want the actual wood portion to be glossy because I just didn't think it would look as nice, especially with this glossy top. But yeah, it's turned out really well, and I've tuned it to the best of my abilities without a tuner. So I think it sounds good. It plays nicely. You know, everything's connected really nice, and it all feels good. It was a bit of a trial and error experiment when I was restringing it, just making sure there was enough knots and everything in here. I definitely think I will do another one of these. I think it's a very nice little display piece. I mean, you can play on it, but obviously with the nylon and the plastic bridge here, it's not maybe as good a quality as a very expensive ukulele, but it certainly does the job, and is definitely a bespoke piece, which, you know, I think is quite nice. Yeah, I think things that I would do differently next time is definitely allow things to dry in between. Like, I mean, it works fine, it's all stuck together fine, but I think I would just be a bit more patient with it. I think I was a bit too excited and a bit overzealous, and I was doing things maybe a bit too fast and before things had been allowed to dry, etc. Another thing is this bridge section here. There's a little lip on the wood here, so I think next time I would measure that up and sand this down so it all lies flat. But I mean, it's not an issue. I think I don't think you'd notice. I think you'd only notice if I point it out, which I have now. So and then the other thing I would learn a lesson from is when I did my gesso layer under here to make sure that the acrylic pour would stick, I didn't make sure that the bristles were not leaving lines with that. So when it dried, you could see the brush strokes where I'd brushed on the gesso, and I think next time I wouldn't do that, because I thought my acrylic pour would flatten out, but it dried a lot thinner, a little less glossy than usual actually. So maybe I thinned out my paint a lot more so it spread a little bit more. I think I did, because of the whole swiping technique with the acrylic pour. So I think I would do that differently, because you can just see the paint strokes, which kind of takes away from the nice poured effect. But like I say, it's very kind of, only if you're really looking into it would you notice that. But I really like the gloss top and the more satin matte finish on the wood, and I like that the wood stain has brought all this wood out. It looks very nice, and I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks really good. But yeah, I will leave a link to this kit that I bought on Amazon down below. I highly recommend doing it if you just want to test it out and customize your own ukulele. It's not very clear, some of the instructions, so I did have to kind of look up reference images and things like that, but all in all, I think it's a good little kit and I recommend trying it out. So I'll flip over to some end shots and I'll end the video here, the talking portion anyway. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed watching this video. It really does help, and a comment to say what you like and dislike, and maybe what I should do next time if I do another one of these, and subscribe if you want to see more, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.